Afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park for the latest in our Wednesday Facebook Live videos. We're carrying on our alphabet theme this week, and we are all the way up to the letter W now, and W is for wallabies. So as ever, I'll witter on about these guys for a bit. If you've got any questions, please feel free to send them in and I'll do my best to answer them for you. But yeah, we will crack on. Hi Tim, good to see you watching, hope you're okay. So yeah, these wallabies are a little bit nervous. I can't get massively close to them, just because they're not really very used to me. So I'm gonna kind of sit back a little bit and we'll keep an eye on them that way. So yeah guys, the species of wallaby that we have here is the red-necked wallaby, also known as the Bennett's wallaby. And wallabies are in one of the marsupial families, and the family they are in contains all of the kangaroos, wallabies, wallaroos, tree kangaroos, all those kinds of things. They're all in the same family. Hiya Matt. Hiya Judith, hope you're okay. Yeah, so like I say, they're all kangaroos and wallabies are all in the same family, and they are marsupials, as I was saying. So as with most, well, not most, but being from Australia, where you find a lot of marsupials, they fit the bill. So they are marsupials because they give birth to tiny little young who then crawl into their pouch and develop into a little baby wallaby in mum's pouch. Hi Mary, hope you're okay. So yeah Tim, so there's a number of different wallaby and kangaroo species. So like I said, these guys are red-necked wallabies. There are a number of other different species of wallaby, such as swamp wallaby, black-striped wallaby, other such things. And then, yeah, you get a number of different kangaroo species as well. Things like reds, eastern grey, western grey, antilopine. I think that's all the kangaroos, actually. But then you also get things called wallaroos, which are kind of somewhere in between a wallaby and a kangaroo. You also got tree kangaroos, who live up in trees, as their name suggests. Things like pademelon that Matt's mentioned. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of these guys. I'm not actually sure where they do get the name Joey from. It's a good question. I've never really looked it up, and I've never really kind of thought to look it up either. That's something I'll have to go and research. I'm not sure why it is called a Joey. Don't know if anyone else here knows. If you do, please feel free to show up, because I'll be honest, I don't know. So this species of wallaby is found on the east coast of Australia, and down into Tasmania as well. Mainly they feed on grasses, leaves, kind of plant matter. Here at the park we let them graze on the grass that's in the enclosure here. We also supplement them with some what are called grazer pellets, so just some pellets that kind of complement the diet, and then we offer hay as well. So wallabies are a really hardy species, and yeah, weather-wise they're able to cope with quite a lot of kind of different conditions. This species in particular are very hardy. We don't need to offer any kind of heating for these guys really. They seem to be able to cope perfectly well. You do get kind of colder snaps in Australia. I can't remember what the program was, but there was a program last year showing, I think it was one of the kangaroo species in snow in Australia, and they, you know, they can deal with those kind of temperatures quite well. And yeah, like I say, these guys being so hardy actually leads me on to another point of that these guys have actually been kind of introduced into other countries. So we did have feral populations in the UK who survived for a good number of years, possibly even still going at the moment. Some of the populations have become extinct, but it is thought there are still some out there. There's some on the Isle of Man, I believe, living wild, and then quite a few European countries, Germany, France and Austria, I believe, have all got kind of wild wallabies as well now. So yeah, you know, if they're able to survive in, you know, our winters in the wild here, then yeah, it kind of shows how hardy they are. So these ones, Tim, I'm not 100% sure on the full lineage of these three. I believe what we've got in here is a mum and dad, and then they're kind of grown up Joey now. So the Joey was born here. Mum and dad have been here for as long as I've been here, and that's a good few years. You know, I've been here 8 years now, so they've been here for that long, as far as I'm aware. So I'm not really sure where they came from. I believe they originally came from Woburn, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So yeah, the wild ones that you find in Europe are mainly escapees that have gone on to kind of form a natural population. I believe France, that's how the French population came about. They were escapees that then kind of managed to survive out in the wild. Some, I believe, I was reading up on it last night, in Ireland there was a wild population, but they were just introduced by a rich man who wanted to introduce them in about 1900, I think it was. So yeah, a couple of different ways that they've kind of colonised. Not sure of an exact speed, Tim, but it is very, very, very fast. When they get going, they can really get going. As you just kind of saw there, that little brief burst that this one did. Obviously, they've got very long, powerful back legs, which mean they can jump around and things like that. And then the short kind of front legs aren't used for travel too much. When they're moving slowly, they will move on all fours, but yeah, not sure of an exact speed. Thank you, Helen. There you go. Joey does mean little animal in Aborigine, so that makes a lot of sense, considering the majority of marsupial species are found in Australia. That makes all the sense in the world. Just try and get a better angle on these guys. Down to wallaby level. Yeah, it is. It's quite impressive, Tim, when they do have a bit of a go. So they'll kind of rear up on their back legs and have a bit of a boxing match with their front legs. They'll get some kicks involved with the back legs as well, using that big kind of powerful tail as a bit of not balance, but yeah, to kind of lean on. Yeah, we see little sparring matches here every now and then, but it's nothing too major. It's when you see, you know, big red kangaroos really having a go that you see how powerful they are. So this species of wallaby is classed as least concern on the IUCN Red List. Like I say, they do quite well out in the wild, and have, as I say, been introduced to other countries and things like that. So there's no real threat to these guys. They're very adaptable as well, so they've been able to kind of adapt to the changes in habitat around them, and kind of live alongside people rather than kind of being pushed out. So yeah, like we were saying with the reproductive system, the little one gets born, it's about the size of a jelly bean. It manages to crawl up its mum's fur into a pouch, and then attaches itself to one of her teats, and then just grows up in the pouch there. Normally they've got a couple of little ones on the go at once, so normally you've got one very small one as the last joey is kind of starting to leave the pouch, you've got a little one coming through again. So yeah, it's all a very interesting reproductive system in marsupials. Yeah, sometimes we feel like we need to. No, like I say, it doesn't get too violent with the wallabies. It's more kind of sparring and play fighting rather than real scraps that we see. So in the wild, these guys live either individually or in kind of small groups when resources are fairly plentiful. Like I said, we've got the 3 in here who seem to get on perfectly fine. So this one here, the large one in front of us now, is Dad. You can see he is a bit bigger than the other 2. Right then guys, feel free to send in any kind of last minute questions, otherwise we will call it a day shortly. Spend a couple more minutes with them. So yeah, we've bred them quite well in the past. So yeah, these guys are Mum and Dad and Joey. I don't think we've got a Joey at the moment in the pouch or developing, but not sure. They can surprise us. So yeah, don't know if they've stopped for a little bit now. But no, we've done well with them in the past. Ah yes, Mary. Yeah, it is Mo, our Red Panda's 10th birthday tomorrow, so everyone wish him a happy birthday for tomorrow. I do have a plan for when the alphabet finishes, Lorraine. I think what we might do is go through the critically endangered animals that we've got here at the park, then go through our endangered animals after that, and then probably even go down to the vulnerable ones as well, just so we can talk a bit about issues that they face in the wild and other such problems as that, and kind of raise a bit of awareness with kind of those species. Hopefully try and highlight some of the ones that we haven't highlighted in the alphabeti series as well, but we'll see how we go. I have a plan, so we'll see how we go with that. Right then guys, I think we will call it a day there, and we'll leave our wallabies to it, let them go back to bed. So yeah, thank you for tuning in as ever. Next week we're up to the letter X, which we have a plan for. Oh yes, quickly. No real updates as yet on Red Panda and Judith. As ever, once we know, we'll let you know. But nothing really to report as yet. Right then guys, we'll be back same time, same place next week. Thank you everybody, and we will see you then.